glimmer of the overall potential of humanity. But by full spectrum awareness, you're at least realizing that there's a compendium of information all around you. I want to get your take on this, Judge, specifically on this question when we come back, on more and more county commissioners, more and more people coming out and saying, hey, we're not going to put up with world government being announced and having our power plants shut off and having our taxes raised and being told we're under world government and having the Supreme Court justices, 4 of them, say that they're going to follow orders from the world court. I mean, that is an overthrow. That is a usurpation. It's happening. We're under a North American Union. We're deep into this, and people are waking up. This is exciting. Toll-free number to join us, 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. Now, that said, 2 program notes. I almost don't even want to plug this again because we sold 20,000 copies of the new magazine at cost in one day. I ordered another 20,000 printed from the place, put that order in. They're coming today, and half those have sold. So if you want to get the InfoWars magazine Financial Collapse Edition, sign up at Infowars.com/newsletter. And we will send it back out again today, but so our regular readers don't get mad at the same email. In our regular news blast with other new news, we'll have a link in there for you to be able to read it online for free, the digital copy. But you can still right now order copies if you get your order in quick, as fast as they're going. They may be sold out today at InfoWarsShop.com. Order them in 10, 20, 50, and 100 packs. There's another unbelievable TSA story. They're not just running around at highway checkpoints now or showing up at Paul Ryan events. TSA now, when they do these stupid chat downs, they take an 8-hour course to then identify you're a terrorist. Hey, the terrorist or who your boss has got on the plane, the underwear bomber, and now they get real mad if you won't answer their stupid questions. It's like, come on, man. Not enough you want to grab my children's body parts and my wife, but now I got to sit here and answer your stupid questions, and if you don't like it, I can't fly because you're God. So you can just immobilize me like I'm somebody in Nazi Germany and I can't travel. How about you just go straight to Hades? You know what I mean? I'm not playing your stupid games. What are you, a convicted pervert or something? I know that's who they hire to be the commander of your organization. We hate you. We know who you are, and we're exposing you. Maggots. Now, used to, I'd say, not all the TSA are bad, blah, blah, blah. A lot of them just want jobs. And they always have the special supervisor that's the perv that likes to grab your wife. But we need to recognize this for what it is and get angry about it. If you just joined us, our top story is a county judge. That means the head of the county commission in Lubbock has said they got to get ready for martial law and UN invasion. But it won't be that exactly, and I'll explain that after the break. But let's start going to some of your phone calls. And we'll get into Al-Qaeda ransacking homes, doing horrible things, torturing people, and then making them suicide bomb. Or they kill their family. In the propaganda piece, but I researched it more, they don't even tell you that. They say, oh, they told him, you go free, just drive this truck. Well, the guy obviously knew and got out, so it didn't blow up the police. But they don't tell you that in these cases, but it came out later in a side issue that they threatened to kill their family that still lives in the village where Al-Qaeda has occupied. And they tell Daddy after torturing him, you're going to go do this or you're dead. And who knows what the loving Al-Qaeda will do to the families in the village now. I'm sure it'll be something. Maybe Al-Qaeda should be given a peace prize. In fact, I'm going to nominate Al-Qaeda for a peace prize. I mean, they gave one to Obama, and Al-Qaeda, we're told, is valiant and loving and good and hiding in our underwear. So the TSA, well, has to, do what they do best. Sharon in West Virginia, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, Alex, thanks for taking my call, and thanks for getting the news out to us. It really sounds to me like they're ramping up their plan to clamp down on us. And I believe that we are living in a police state. But right now, we need more than ever to embrace our police and our military and wake them up.
No, it's an emergency situation, because if we don't, there's going to probably be a civil war, and they'll be committed against us, and then we're going to have no choice but to defend ourselves. So it's either wake them up or things won't look good. Go ahead.
Yeah, we've got to talk to our troops, or any friends in the police department we have, any family members that are in the military, we need to talk to them. You can't jam it down their throat like a starving dog will take a bone from your hand, but if you try to jam it down his throat, he's going to spit it back out at you.
In my experience, it's best to just hammer people with info, and because if they don't already know something's wrong, they just need that confirmation and support. We need to get the buzz going, and the buzz is going against this tyranny, but we need it to explode and race across the country in peaceful resistance to the foreign occupational takeover. Then we can start arresting the globalist. Once we ever get to that point, they push too far. We could look. The Fast and Furious thing could lead right through all their ranks, right through the ranks of all the criminals. We could arrest thousands of them just off that. Go ahead.
Did Iceland get bounty hunters to go after the banksters?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yeah, 400,000 Vikings.
How can we do that? Wouldn't that be a great place to start?
We have to wake up. Yeah, we have to be smart enough. See, the Icelanders hadn't been drinking fluoride. They put fluoride in there to brain damage us. I mean, Harvard admits it. I mean, they assault us. These people are beyond criminal. And you notice they poison everybody. Cops, military, bureaucrats, FBI agents. They're all killing you, too. You just got to have the courage to admit it. Coming to you live from deep in the heart of Texas, Austin. I am Alex Jones, your host. Thank you so much again for joining us for another hour of worldwide transmission against tyranny in defense of liberty. We are going to be going to your phone calls here in a moment. Obviously, you're throwing out the topic there. We played the clip earlier. We'll play it again later in the hour. A county judge, the head of the county commissioner's court, it's like the county city council. I know some states don't have that system. Said they're getting ready for world government, the takeover of America if Obama is reelected. He thinks that there's going to be a revolution. Now, again, obviously, Romney's a globalist as well, but the fact that more and more people are talking like this is a pretty big county, big city out there, one of the biggest in West Texas, and it just shows this is the type of info I'm getting from police, military, on and off the air, and just amazing sources at the State House. I've talked to state senators off the record that say, look, we know what's going on. We hate the New World Order, and they know John Warner Defense Authorization Act is designed to use FEMA and the regular big army against the states if the states say no to tyranny. The federal government has been seized by foreign banking cartel. I mean, it's that simple. In fact, I've played this probably 50 times.
Now, the question is, do we all work for central bankers? That's what I want to address to our guest tonight. Is this global governance at last? Is it one world, the central bankers in charge? Jim Urio, you say we've got some downside here, a correction in the markets. Fine. But aren't we all just living and dying for what the central banks do? Aren't we all just counting on the fact that there's a Bernanke put and that we won't go any lower than, say, 5% down from here?
Of course we are, because if we look at the economic data, there's nothing to get excited about in that. So yesterday we saw some reluctance.
And they go on through the other four guests at saying we're under foreign banks. Here's how they took over. Hey, you got to congratulate how good they were at taking over. Yeah. Would you be mad if the Russians were doing this? Yeah, you'd be up in arms today. Would you be mad at the Chinese? Yeah, you'd be up in arms today. Would you be mad if the Germans did this? Yeah, you'd be up in arms. If Mexico could do this, you'd be up in arms. We don't need to get up in arms. We don't want to get up in arms. We need to stop falling back that, we're just going to wait and, we're going to wait till they try to march down our street, and then when the UN comes down our road, our police are going to fight with them. They're not going to come in blue helmets. That's why they've unified our military with the UN with dark blue berets and black berets, mainly black berets. They're unifying the command structure. They're unifying the police codes. They're trying to head this off by federalizing the police right now. They're giving police, if they're special and in the right units, but soon it'll be all of them, little federal ID cards. It's all happening. The federal government got taken over. This is elementary. The federal government got taken over. And I know you know this as regular listeners, but we've got to go talk to our neighbors like they're 5 years old and go, let me explain what happened. Foreign mega banks, the ones that brag they've conquered the world. Here's a free InfoWars magazine that has all their quotes in an article called Bankers Have Conquered the United States. Here's links to the videos where they say it. They explain how they created $1,500 trillion in fake paper, had government sign on to the debt that isn't even our debt to hold us hostage, and then their agenda is called Agenda 21, which means total takeover of society and turning us into poor prisoners, basically. In their words, they call it a prison planet. That's why I had prisonplanet.com. They say we need to go to a Chinese-style control system, a prison planet. So we fight the prison planet with the info war. And here we are now, and they're getting ready to really implode the economy, but they don't want to do it until they think everyone is prepared for it. And then they can pose as the saviors in the reorganization of the country. More than half the nation in their official UN maps, we just showed one on screen, will be off limits. These maps were shown in Congress in 1993. We can put those back on screen. Core reserves, little or no human use. Buffer zones, highly regulated use. And by the way, that map in 92, the area right outside Austin where they have it in red is the area they stole from ranchers and people and took away from them, but then built on it themselves later. I mean, this is they're doing this, okay? They're following a plan, a recipe. It'd be like if my wife said, "Hey, will you stop by Whole Foods on the way home? I need this, and that. You know, need some type of fish. Need you to get some ginger. Need you to get some of this sauce. Oh, you're making my favorite fish. Yes. I need you to get some broccoli. Need you to get some cauliflower, whatever the case is, some artichoke hearts." And then I come home and she's got a recipe and she sits there and cooks it. So, you know, we're watching the New World Order takeover. They even tell us what the recipe is. Cut off the resources, pose as saviors, get everybody fighting with each other on racial and religious issues while the corporate banksters rule over us and shut down our economy in phases while posing as saviors so a bunch of mega monopoly corporations can take over who are anti-free market. Now, I know I say that almost every day here on the show, and I'm going to continue to say that. I'm going to continue to warn you because that's it. That's the game plan. And if we don't get that out to people, it's over. It's over. This isn't just a takeover financially. They want to physically, once and for all, have a war with the American people using police and military, who they hate with a passion, while they sit offshore. We all kill each other and just wear each other out. The economy breaks down further. They blame the economy imploding on the Civil War / race war, while the globalists sit there with their controlled media that's government financed with your tax money, telling you how great they are and how they're trying to stop all the problems. It'd be like a fire department that set fire to your house and then came over to your house and said, "Oh, look, we put it out for you. That's why you pay us." That's why fire departments actually started in Rome. You can look it up. Julius Caesar's family became prominent and wealthy and kind of put him into where he was early on because they had run one of the main fire departments. And it was private. And you had to pay it protection money or they'd burn down your neighborhood. People think the Italian mafia invented that 100 years ago in New York, where they'd say, "Pay us protection or somebody's going to burn down your grocery store." That came from Italy. And they didn't get it from the black nobility 1,000 years ago on the west coast of Italy. No, they got it. That's like 2,200 years old. Okay. 2,200 years old. I mean, that's what government